This is my public notice to everyone, especially those that work within the government, which now include those who work with certain uh, car manufacturers or AIG, those people who work in that company. They're now owned by the government, so they are now literally government employees as well. This is my public notice to everyone, and letting everyone know exactly where I stand. And letting folks know that the American dream has not died. For the majority of my life, I've stood by watching travesties performed by those in government, all the while believing that they could lawfully perform such acts. I felt helpless, alone, frightened, and personally intimidated by the force of a government that could only be described as tyrannical. Upon discovering the truth within the Declaration of Independence and our Constitution, which limit the actions of our public servants, I began to recognize an appalling condition, a condition that has been covered for well over 100 years by a veil of deceit and accompanied by the blind faith that we are a free people. I know that many have experienced serious tribulations brought about by a corrupt government. I realize many have been imprisoned for victimless crime. I understand many have been abused by police brutality, non-constitutional acts of CPS, harassment from the IRS, just to name a few, which have resulted in murder and suicides alike. I'm aware of those who've been released from prison after it's been proven by DNA that they could not have committed the crime that they're in for. Yet they're sent out into the world with a record because it's not expunged. These are the people I include in my heart and mind as I move forward, knowing that they too will receive remedy one way or another. The crimes and usurpations are not just in the slums and ghettos, but reach out and strangle our farmers, ranchers, teachers, doctors, librarians, miners, philanthropists, philosophers, students, stay-at-home moms and dads alike. There are none of us untouched. Since when do a free people require a marriage license granted by the state to make a commitment to love another? Since when do a free people request permission to build what they choose on their land? Since when do a free people apply for acceptance to travel from one place to another? Since when do a free people accept codes, rules, and regulations as if they were law? Today, I come forth to claim my birthright, our birthright, our inalienable rights, which are secured to us by the Constitution of and for the United States of America, and by each state's own constitution. In our republics, the constitutions do not give nor grant us our rights, but instead prohibit those in government from infringing upon our rights and to clarify their obligations and duties, ensuring aspects of our lives are not usurped. All public servants, those who are to represent us within the government or protect us as police officers are supposed to do, give an oath to uphold, preserve, and defend the Constitution of the United States and their respective state constitution against both foreign and domestic enemies. This is a required promise, a commitment to us that guarantees our inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is not violated. It's obvious today that our public servants have defaulted on their oath, their promise and commitment to we the people, regardless of one's race, religion, or gender. Instead of honoring this sacred obligation, public servants have literally sold we the people out. Not only is America once again bankrupt, but this time around clearly proves that justice within the courts is also bankrupt. However, I do believe by our choosing to stand and come forth to claim our birthright and demand retribution for the crimes committed upon we the people, that liberty and justice for all will prevail. The time has come for us to firmly demand and accept the riches and security of liberty and justice. We are now finding ourselves in an era of fierce urgency. This is not a time to engage in silly arguments about whose religion is better, which alma mater produces the best minds, or which color is truly a national favorite. Now is the time to rise from the deep, dark abyss of tyrannical injustice called democracy and step onto the lighted path of liberty and justice for all. We must begin reopening the doors of liberty and justice. Now is the time to put aside petty differences, which have also caused injustice, pain, and strife. Now is the time to begin rebuilding upon the solid foundation of our republics, where 99% cannot take away nor vote upon the rights and property of 1%, and where 1% cannot take away or vote upon the rights and property of 99%. It will prove to be excruciatingly fatal for all of us if we choose to overlook the urgency of the moment, and if we underestimate the determination of those in government who treat America as if she were a democracy. Our legitimate and lawful discontent will not pass until liberty and justice for all has been achieved. I must say this. In the process of obtaining our birthright, we must not act or perform in any way that puts us into the same category as those who have wronged us. Fighting fire with fire only brings about more fire. We must perform and act as our republics prescribe, firmly, and offering peace first. Our republics already exist. There is no restoration thereof. We must assist others in their understanding the difference between a democracy and a republic. When that understanding is gained, be assured that you, being witness and acting accordingly, are personally bringing others into the embracing fold of our republic. We will continually conduct ourselves within the realms of dignity and self-responsibility. We will not allow ourselves to digress into physical violence. With that in mind, I clarify for everyone now. Self-defense is just one of our inalienable rights. We will utilize the faculties of our minds and purposeful efforts to meet physical force with intelligence wrapped in a loving spirit before taking any other action. Additionally, we must not allow the truths and evidences of crime and usurpations to lead us into distrusting all public servants. For many of our public servants have proven themselves to be true representatives and protectors of the Constitution and of we the people. We must acknowledge that their destiny is congruent with our destiny, and that their freedom and liberty is forever bound to our freedom and liberty. We, individually, cannot walk this path alone completely unharmed. But together, with the same end goal of liberty and justice for all, we must make the pledge to ourselves and to each other that we will continue moving forward. Turning back would be purposely forgetting who we are. I personally give those in government, our public servants, a fair and crucial warning. To those who have hoped or believed that the American people are too lazy, stupid, ignorant, too self-involved, and self-indulgent, and those who refuse to believe that we the people are not capable of moving forward and putting an end to their abuses, will have a rude awakening if they do not immediately begin abiding by their oaths and stating publicly that we live in a republic. Notice is now given that we the people will not offer those who offend our republics, our constitutions, and our inalienable rights any rest until all non-constitutional and unlawful laws are done away with, including all codes, rules, and regulations which offend the Constitution and our inalienable rights. Instead of swimming in a pool of despair, I suggest to you today, the American dream has not died. I know we, as a union of states, can enjoy our republics because, and I quote, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. To those who do not know what to do, I say begin at your own kitchen table. Speak the truth to our children that we have a republic, not a democracy. Unfold the lies within the bedtime stories we tell our kids. Tell these truths to your neighbors, friends, and family. It does not matter if they believe right away. Continue speaking these truths to your communities, churches, schools. Assemble with your fellow Americans, regardless of their physical locations. Speak these truths to your local public servants. Supply everyone with documents and teaching materials. Move forward by doing the same within your own state, counties, cities, and towns. Give notice to your public servants. Tell them we do not care about their beliefs, but that we demand they represent us accurately. We the people who have made a commitment to witness the fruits of our republic will continue to shake the foundations of the ill beliefs of democracy until liberty and justice for all emerges, to the extent that the entire world bears witness. We must form our own alliances by assembling and working with others who are committed to bringing into fruition liberty and justice for all. Waste no time on naysayers. Dedicate your time wisely with those who are committed and have allegiance to our republic. Be present. Acknowledge the mistakes you've made, accept the damages you have caused others, and offer remedy. Do not hide. Answer any and all allegations made upon your words, actions, and character. Only those who stand up and acknowledge the harms they've caused or questionable actions they have committed will truly be forgiven. John Adams said, "There are only two creatures of value on the face of the earth, those with the commitment and those who require a commitment of others." I now dare to expand on his statement and prove there is a third. Those of us who have made a commitment to require the commitment of our public servants be fulfilled. And we are now demanding their commitments to we the people be paid in full. Know this, by consciously working together, we can make the American dream a reality. By consciously working together, only then can we look toward the day when we are not judged upon race, religion, or gender, but by the content and context of our character. Only then can we look toward the day when public servants no longer attempt to infringe upon our inalienable rights, because they realize such actions infringe upon their inalienable rights as well as those whom they love and cherish. Only then can we look toward the day when we know our children's children will not struggle due to non-constitutional taxes, fees, and unreasonable demands. Only then can we look toward the day when we all realize we are able to disagree without hurting one another or ourselves. Only then can we look forward to the day when everyone understands the American dream has not died. Today, for all men, women, and children, I ring the bell of liberty simply as a reminder of what has been, what is, and what is soon to come.